Tired of the silence, the sugar-coated lies. Another headline screaming behind vacant eyes. They build up their walls so high and so strong, but the truth's gonna break through before too long. Every single day, the same damn old game, pointing all the fingers, nobody takes the blame.
Good morning, Adrian. How you doing?
Ain't no turning back now, ain't no holding back. I'm about to say it, yeah, I'm about to scream. Tired of the fake smiles, living in a dream. The real life's bleeding out in the cold. Gotta break the mold, gotta let it unfold. I'm about to say it.
Let's start that over. I don't like the sound, how that was. I don't like how that sounded. I want to start over. Hold on. Turn that volume up a little bit. Let's feel this. Thank you for the rose, Adrian. Thank you for the you're awesome. You're awesome.
Tired of the silence, the sugar-coated lies.
Thank you for that heartbeat, bestie. Thank you, Jenny.
Behind vacant eyes, they build up their walls so high and so strong, but the truth's gonna break through before too long. Every single day, the same damn old game, pointing all the fingers, nobody takes the blame. This pressure's building, it's starting to crack. Ain't no turning back now, ain't no holding back. I'm about to say it, yeah, I'm about to scream. Tired of the fake smiles, living in a dream. The real life's bleeding out in the cold. Gotta break the mold, gotta let it unfold. I'm about to say it, every single word. The uncomfortable truth finally gonna be heard. I'm gonna say it.
Female voice. Good morning. All right, so good morning. Welcome to hashtag I'm gonna say. All things said in today's show are alleged and for entertainment and educational purposes only. If you are below the age of 18, we request that you leave the live now. Enjoy.
Yeah, like that. Like that. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. It's on that. Seems like the platform already on that, effery, But how's everybody doing? Let's get some volume. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me okay? Hashtag True Podcast. Welcome in. Welcome in, brother. How you feeling today? I hope all is well. I hope you're feeling better. All right, sorry, I got comfortable here. Man, so how's everybody doing? Everybody's doing good? Everybody's doing great? I pray and hope that you are. One question. Who all caught episode 4 of Dope Girls last night? Man, was that not good or what? Yo. Things was wild, right? And you kind of got to Jenny got introduced. She didn't get introduced, but she did get introduced. Hashtag True Podcast says, what's up? I'm doing great. Watching my inspiration. Oh man, don't do that. Don't do that, bro. You gonna have me over here crying. Don't do that. Don't do that. I can't not no. You're gonna have me blushing and crying. People gonna be like, man, is he all right? No, honestly, brother, thank you. Thank you. And I pray that you feel better. I do. I pray that you feel better. not only mentally, health wise. I just want you to increase your quality of life, brother, because you are something special to people, right? We appreciate you. You know, I don't know if that. Listen, I don't know. A lot of times, guys don't say it to other guys. I don't know if it's the masculine thing or whatnot, but I'm gonna tell you right now, because you're my brother from another mother. I love you to life. You know, and that's what I want you to enjoy, life. It's just Grams. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hold on, y'all. I don't want my phone ringing and disturbing us while we're doing this show. It's just Grams. Let's give it up to It's Just Grams because she became the number 13 fan in the fan club. Let's give it up to her. Thank you for the heart me. I appreciate that. It's just Grams. All right, some of you were on the show yesterday on the other channel, and you know what happened. You listen. When we started this platform, we started this show. Hashtag I'm gonna say it was just that. It's in the name. We're gonna say it. We're gonna say it, and we're gonna continue doing the same thing. But you know what we were talking about when the show got rudely interrupted. But prior to that show, we did a network and build show, and we had a guest on there, Be the Light. You all remember he was talking about his TikTok shop company, right? And the things that he sells. Well, in that conversation or in that show, we made reference to people coming together, uniting, being positive, right? And we stated that there was a Zeus Network, a TV station, I guess that's what it was, or whatever. But anyways, the network. We was talking about how it encompassed drama, right? If you were present for that show, you know what I'm talking about. And he and I was just saying that we needed to increase positivity in life. Well, you know what I do, man. You know, listen, this is the burner account right here. And so it's the backup. And I'm going to play some audio from a guy who was actually on the show that was on that network. Hashtag True Podcast says you need to add Rumble, free speech platform for your video voice. You know, yes. And I keep saying, okay, yeah, I keep saying, yes, you're right, I need to, and I don't. But I will say, I am. I think I'm going to, no, I don't think. I got to look into how to set that up, brother, and I'm going to do that. I toyed around with the YouTube a little bit this morning before I came on here. And tried to see what I could do on there. I'm not fully confident in that, but I wish I lived next to you or by you, man, so you could kind of show me how to set up the whole, because I don't want no bland YouTube. Like, I want graphics and stuff on the live while I'm doing it, and I don't know how to do that. So that's where I'm at with that. Jessica Smith, welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. It's just Graham says, why did my fan level go back to 1? So weird. No. It's not. It's just Grams. It's because you're on a higher level on my other channel. But because of the things that I was talking about or speaking on, the facts that I was spitting out yesterday, I can't go live. My privileges of going live have been put on halt until August 5th. So this is the backup account. So it's kind of starting over. It's fresh. I don't use this that much. So D said, yeah, I need to put my vids on YouTube if it would work. Yeah. I'm at a point now, D. First of all, good morning to you. But what I do shows here, but then I put them, I upload them on my YouTube in case people miss them and need to go back and watch it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Hashtag Truth says YouTube is the same as TikTok. Okay, so scratch that. So Rumble it is. I need to try that. Okay. That'll be my thing that I try to play around with today to find out how to get it going. Jean said, "It's okay. This isn't the first time, Bessie. It's not. It is. It's not. You're right, Bessie. But hey, remember, Bessie, when they did it to us before, all we did was rebuild. And when we had to rebuild, we came back better. Right? Liz, good morning, Bestie. Welcome to the live. How are you doing? Now, you also know this too, though, Bestie. When that happens, it makes me mad, right? You know that. I get upset. And then I just, you know. So, but this is kind of what today's show is going to be. I mean, we're going to take the gloves off, the proverbial gloves off. And so, as I was saying, we talked about that network and how it glorified negative actions, drama, confrontations, ratchetness. Like it thrived on that, right? And we speak a lot about energy. So now this particular person we're going to listen to today, his name is Aaron the Plumber, Aaron, the Plumber, right? And it says his name. It says Aaron the Plumber, risk it all, and risk it all. Risk is RISKS. Not just with the K. Risk it all. Exposing Hollywood. And so what he's going to do is tell you about, yes, Jenny, that's exactly who he is. But he's going to tell us talk about the things that we was actually bringing up yesterday, right? When we mentioned this network in the first episode with Be the Light yesterday, as far as what we were talking about when they shut the show down yesterday, right? So let's get right into it. I ain't gonna hold you no longer because I think I got like 3 segments if I can make it through that, just depends on how long they let this truth go. But let's get it.
The whole show on Zeus was a humiliation ritual. It was a humiliation ritual. Zeus is in love with Greek mythology. Greek mythology is demonic in a real way. But I didn't set up, bruh. What piqued my interest, right? Zeus Network changed my name from Pied Piper to Pipe. No, from Pipe Piper, right? Yeah. They said Pipe.
Yeah, Pipe Piper.
Because I'm a licensed plumber. Yeah. They changed it to PIED Piper, right? So that sparked my interest. I said, what the Pied Piper?
Yeah.
Why did follow me that? Right? So I Googled Pied Piper. The Pied Piper is Greek mythology. The guy that led 130 children to their death, and only 3 survived. One was dumb, one was deaf, one was blind. You feel me? And one survived because they went to go get their coat. You feel me? When the Pied Piper was leaving, and they came back and the Pied Piper was gone. So 4 children survived out of 130. So I'm thinking like, what? Why would these people? And after I started investigating the Greek mythology, I noticed that all the contestants on the Zeus Network show had Greek mythology names that trace back to Greek mythology. It's demonic. It was a satanic ritual. You know what I'm saying? When she slapped me, it's called the slap of a midnight, right? In a real way. She slapped me. Yeah. She was marking me for death. And I don't give a fuck. I'm finna say it on camera, bro. They was finna sacrifice me. Mamas, they was finna sacrifice me. But when Erica Miller slapped me, I got up out of there.
Adrian, you said Kales used to call himself that name. Okay. Again, I so wish I knew how to put the video up on here so you could see it, because that was the first person when he started talking about it. When Aaron the Plumber started talking about it, Kales was the first person they put up. The first person they put up. That's a commercial. I'm waiting. Get past that quickly. Oh, they gave us 2 commercials this time.
Oh yeah, Didi got a podcast.
All right, guys. So many times on this channel, we've talked about how you will have innocent people with pure intentions that may just have a desire to just make music right? They just have a passion. They just love to make music, or maybe they have a passion for acting. They just really want to act and be an actress, the big movie star. And they typically find out the hard way that Hollywood, and to make it to become successful, is not all that it seems. And sometimes we have to find that out from the most unlikely people. Shoot, just in our last video, we talked about Justin Bieber.
Jenny said
and
episode
unfortunately, a
4
lot of
was
the
lit.
rumors
I hope
and things
everyone goes and
surrounding
watch
what
Dope
may have
Girls on
happened to
Tay
him,
Renovation Films
his
on
connections
YouTube, man.
to
It
Diddy,
was
and
I
how he's
loved
currently
it, bestie.
involved in a massive war with the music industry because he no longer wants to be in Hollywood. He wants out. He doesn't care about the money. He doesn't care about the fame. He just wants to get out with his life.
I have another crazy inside Hollywood scoop for you guys today, this time pertaining to Justin Bieber. This is crazy. Daily Mail, last 48 hours. Here are some headlines. Inside Kendall and Kylie Jenner's desperate attempts to help Hailey and Justin Bieber amid split speculation. Justin Bieber reacts to wife Hailey hitting an event without him amid rumors of a marriage breakdown. I'm told that Justin Bieber, just like Michael Jackson,
That's
is
Candace Owens
engaged in a
speaking.
war against musical executives, except the musical executives have gotten smarter over time. He wants out of Hollywood. He does not care about the money. He wants out. It is the same war which was fought by Michael Jackson. It is the same war which was fought by Ye. Okay? The talent is you, Justin Bieber. And if you are wanting to, as you have demonstrated, lean into this next phase of your life where it is about family and it is about Christ, then know that there is absolutely nothing that can stop you.
Jenny says this seems to
Just
happen
speak.
every time someone
Literally,
has
I am
entered
begging
Hollywood
you. Forget
and
the
wanting out
contracts,
right
violate
after.
them all. We're coming to the courtroom with
Every
you.
time. More
Just
times than not, right?
speak. You have the strength to do that.
Well, today I'm going to present to you all one of the most unlikely stories that you'll hear all year. A guy by the name of Aaron Plummer. A lot of you all may know who that is. Most of you all will not know who that is. Aaron Plummer is an everyday person just like you and I, who actually went viral last year after making an appearance on the Pop the Balloon show. Just like everybody else, Aaron Plummer shows up. He's looking for the love of his life, a woman that he can build a family with. And he ends up going viral because of his hilarious rebuttals and reactions and responses to the women on the show. And Aaron the Plumber actually took advantage of this virality and decided to capitalize on the momentum by way of starting a YouTube channel. He's made some music videos. He's been linked with 50 Cent. He's been tied into altercations with Kevin Gates and Floyd Mayweather. He's been involved with Ray J. But one of the biggest things, if not the biggest thing that he's been involved with, was a television show where once again he found himself competing, or I should say, quote unquote, competing for love. And I only say quote unquote because it's one of the most toxic shows you'll ever watch in your life. Aaron the Plumber was involved in several fights, which, by the way, one of the guys that he got into a fight with actually would later lose his life, which will be relevant in this video. Well, after Aaron the Plumber made an appearance on this television show to compete.
Make sure y'all share out the live. Let's get this working. Let's get this knowledge in. Let's enlighten people now, okay? Because like I said today, we're going deep. We pushing the envelope today. It's the backup accounts. We don't care.
For the love of this woman by the name of Erica Mena. After that went sour and completely went left, and he was kicked off of the show, he would continue to capitalize on his momentum by linking with other celebrities and trying to start other ventures. As a byproduct of his newfound fame, if you will, he's been asked to do a lot of interviews, and he just recently went on to Real Life Productions, where he actually had one of the most revealing and, quite frankly, creepy revelations to share with the public about what he believed his role was actually about on that show.
The whole show on Zeus was a humiliation ritual. It was a humiliation ritual. Zeus is in love with Greek mythology. Greek mythology is demonic in a real way. Bradesky, I didn't sat up, bruh. What piqued my interest, right? Zeus Network changed my name from Pied Piper to Pipe. No, from Pipe Piper, right?
Yeah.
They said Pipe.
Yeah, Pipe Piper.
Because you know I'm a licensed plumber.
Yeah.
They changed it to Pied Piper, right? So that sparked my interest. I said, what the Pied Piper?
Yeah.
Why to follow me that? Right, so I Googled Pied Piper. The Pied Piper is Greek mythology. Guy that led 130 children to their death.
Yeah.
And only 3 survived. One was dumb, one was deaf, one was blind. You feel me? And one survived because they went to go get their coat. You feel me? When the Pied Piper was leaving, and they came back and the Pied Piper was gone. So 4 children survived. At 130, so I'm thinking like, what? Why would these people? And after I started investigating the Greek mythology, I noticed that all the contestants on the Zeus Network show had Greek mythology names that trace back to Greek mythology. It's demonic. It was a satanic ritual. You know what I'm saying? When she slapped me, it's called the slap of admittment, right? In a real way. She slapped me. She was marking me for death, bruh. And I don't give a fuck. I'm finna say it on
Thank you for
camera,
the heart
bruh.
puff,
They
Jenny.
was finna sacrifice me.
Thank you for the I
They was
heart
finna
you.
sacrifice me.
I
But when
heart
Erica
you.
Mena slapped me, I got up out of there. I called the police
Thank you for
on
the
her.
Go
I filed a
Popular.
police report on her ass and up they satanic ritual. You know, satanic ritual. You know what I'm saying? Get on TikTokery and look at all the people that's exposing Zeus for the demonic entities that they worship, Brodusky. Lemuel Plumber, you're a weird ass, you know what I'm saying? Because who the fuck is into some, I don't know, one black man that's into some Greek mythology. How is you allowing demonic entities on your program, bro? No, bro, I ain't going for that.
But listen, this is something that we have spoke about so many times. So many times. And now you're actually hearing somebody that was amongst that crowd telling you what goes on behind the curtain.
Guys, here we have a guy who seems, according to what he said, only seems to be looking for a wife, seems to be looking for the love of his life. And in the process of doing that, this innocent person who
Hey, let's give it up to Jenny. Jenny just got the #1 gifter badge. Thank you, bestie. Ponder says, the pretender in chief is a felon. I think we can handle a few demonic entities on TikTok. Hey, you know, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. They're out there. There's nothing we can do about it. They're out there. But at the same time, what they worship, I don't. What they like to get down with, I don't. I'm going to make sure I do my job and stay on my dean. You see what I'm saying? Make sure I bring light to the situation, even if it costs me the platform. You know, but you're right. You're right, Ponder. You're right. I have no arguments or rebuttal to what you said because you stated nothing but facts right there.
have pure intentions, finds himself on a television show where he thinks he's competing for a woman that he could potentially, quote unquote, fall in love with. And it wasn't until he joined this show that he realized that the executive producers and the people behind the scenes of this television show had other plans for him. And we've actually talked about this producer before.
It's this guy by the name of Lemuel
Ponder got the
Plummer.
#3 gift
And for the
badge.
remainder of this video, we're just going to call him Lemmy. My understanding, that's his nickname, Lemmy. Who is Lemmy? Lemmy is an African-American entrepreneur, producer, and media executive, best known as the founder and CEO of Zeus Network, a subscription-based streaming platform that has gained popularity for its original content, often centered on urban culture, celebrity-driven reality shows, and drama-filled series. And I remember he gained some popularity sometime last year when he had this back and forth, and basically this semi-fight with the rapper slash singer Ray J.
All the commotion you hear is this big argument that's going on, this big altercation that's happening outside of a building. And it's something that's very, very strikingly obvious when you look at it. They have white flowers in the back. And most of the people, if not all, let me see, she may have, I don't know, that might be a white little pullover vest thing, but everybody's got on black. Everybody's got on black, except for one of the security guards that is behind. Oh, look who's there. Gay J. The security guard standing behind Gay J got on a pink hat. Now, all of this, again, you know how we stated that a picture is worth 1,000 words. but it's the picture within the picture that you got to look at to really, really get the dialogue of what's being stated. Now, white stands for purity, innocence, rebirth. Rebirth. Think about when you are baptized and you come back up out of the water. You come back up as a new being. It's a rebirth. You are a new birth in Christ. So, and what all of the sins and things that you've done, all the stains on your life, we call them proverbial stains, but all the sin and stuff that you've done in your life, when you go under the water and you come back up, they're blocked out of the remission. Of the remembrance of our Lord and Savior, right? Okay, so white stands for innocence, purity. Black stands for dark, often bad things, right? It's associated with bad things, right? But pink, in this particular setting now, I'm not talking about breast cancer, nothing like that's not what I'm getting at. I'm talking about in this particular realm of things, all right? Stay with me. The color pink represent, you know what? I tell you what, I won't tell you. I'll reference you to go watch the Yummy Yum video by Justin B to find out what pink means.
Let's go. I'm giving you life, nigga, right here. Your network sucks. I'm giving you life. You don't even know what's up. You are not a black man. You don't know. Not tonight. I tell you the formula, nigga.
Jessica Smith said, no, tell us.
You tell it.
I'll tell you this. It has to do with people that's not the age of consent. That's what because I want to tell you, I want to say it all, but they'll pull the cord on the show again. So I'm being careful because I still want you all to know, what's right there and what we were really getting at yesterday. And it also lets you know pretty much why they shut the show down. Thank you for that heartbeat, Jessica. Hey, let's give it up to Jessica. Jessica just became the number 14 fan in the fan club. Thank you for that love and that support, Jessica. Jenny says TT is on some bullshit. Absolutely. Bestie is so right. Stay on it.
You tell him. I taught you. I taught you.
Let him go, bro. Let him go, bro.
Hey,
You ain't about that life, Jerry. Relax.
You know this is
I'm not even about this life.
Gage ain't looking about 2'3" inches tall.
And these niggas allow it. These niggas beat some women, and y'all niggas allow it. All y'all niggas allow it.
I just want to know, why is this mofo always trying to act hard and where some drama go down? And he always trying to act like he tough. This dude is softer than a piece of cake. But he always want to be amongst some drama and always want to act like he about that life. Why? I don't like him. I just don't like him. Bessie says, you know what they say about hard heads. Yeah, they make it. Oh yeah, and I bet his has been. Jessica said Napoleon complex. He need to work on that. Adrian said always when he knows there is security. Now the thing about that, I have to say, you are so right, because he's got 2, 3, 4. Is that 5. He's got 5 security guards in front of him, talking cash, knowing good and well if they wasn't there, the guy that he trying to holler at, little mama, welcome in. How you doing? Knowing good and well he wouldn't be doing all of this.
Listen, I just want to interrupt for just a sec to say if you are enjoying this video, I ask that you please hit that like button. If you enjoy my content, if you want to help the channel, please hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It helps pushes my video out there. I would really, really appreciate it. Also, subscribe to my second channel if you have not subscribed yet.
Spend less on your kids with.
Oh, come on. Okay, hold on. Let's get through the school lunch snacks. Going back to school snacks commercial.
Description. And another reason he gained quite a bit of popularity was like in the last 2 or 3 years, this lady named Christian, who was at the time dating this rapper named Blueface, decided that she was going to give birth to her baby on camera on Zeus Network for views and for fame, which is extremely sad, but that's the world that we live in today. So Lemmy is from Detroit, Michigan, where he was born into a family deep-rooted in faith and media. His father, Bishop Keith Plummer, wasn't just a man of God, but also a television executive who produced faith-based programming. So basically, his dad would charge Christian people and organizations to be able to preach and host their Christian-based programs on his network, basically. He was paid and he made money and got rich off of that, basically. This unique combination of ministry and media shaped Lemmy's early years. He spent a lot of time around cameras, studios, and production teams. While other kids were playing outside, Lemmy was learning the ins and outs of broadcasting, observing the skills and discipline required to create compelling content. Before founding Zeus Network, he gained experience as a producer in the television industry, working on several notable projects, including BET's The Monique Show and The Family Cruise, which helped him establish connections. For Lemmy, this was a pivotal moment because he realized that traditional networks often control not just the content, but also the narrative, leaving little room for authentic stories that reflected diverse experiences. So he started dreaming of a platform where creators could have full control, a space where their voices could be heard and could thrive without gatekeeping. And as I'm sure you all noticed and heard me say, yes, that's right. He comes from a family that is faith-based. He came from a family that had Christian values. He came from a family that was quite literally on the other end of the spectrum of everything I'm about to tell you and show you that Zeus Network represents. And now I want you all to take a listen to this man on The Breakfast Club talking about his show. And I want you all to listen to how professional and how virtuous he makes this stuff sounds.
Kind of show really helped, take us to another level.
Right, because that was when I first really was paying attention when she was on there.
But that show was so loud, and the relationship with her and her mom, has always been something that's been controversial. There's all these responsibilities that they're taking on, so we expect them to deliver. So, it's not easy. I will say it's not easy for them. The Jocelyn's when they're EPing and starring in the shows, the Natalie Nunns, even the Ray J's. I mean, it's tough, but they're getting through it. They're learning a lot too. So they're enjoying the process, as EPs, as talent. They're understanding the business aspect a lot more too. So I think their whole mentality has changed just based upon the Zeus experience.
You gave them the opportunity to boss up and not just be talent.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it in a nutshell.
Now you tell me with a straight face, if you had no idea, had never seen anything from his show or his network before, would you even have a clue or even think that he was talking about something as raunchy, as degrading, as debaucherous as Zeus Network? No, you would not.
And that's what I was saying yesterday. That's exactly what Be the Light and I was talking about. I'm cool with his idea. I'm cool with what he was saying he wanted to do. But the thing about it is, what he said in the interview with The Breakfast Club is not what he put out on the network. Jenny said she's now saying she's going to turn into a man. No hate to anyone, but I don't know about her. Wait, who? Who said that? Jenny says, my 15-year-old son used to watch his stuff. Little Mama said, just been fighting my demons. The thing about it, keep fighting. Keep fighting. Don't let it win. Oh, I didn't know that. See, man, I stopped following her in Blueface. Like, it was crazy. But I didn't know that. Yeah, that's weird. That's weird, yeah. Not surprising coming from her, but weird, nonetheless. But that's what I'm saying. So, like, I'm for if he was about what he was saying on the Breakfast Club in that interview, if he was gonna put that part out and make it like that. Rita, good morning, Bessie. How you doing? Jenny said King World was reporting on it last year or this year. But that's what it was about. But if you ever went and I'm not gonna lie, I did watch some shows on there. Oh, yesterday. Okay. All right. I was like, huh? Okay, yesterday. I watched some shows on there. It was, I'm trying to think of the name. I think it was Bad Boys. I think. I'm not sure. It had Orlando B on there. It had the dude that was in B2K. Remember he was saying they raped him, and I can't think of his name. Light skinned dude. I can't think of his name. Anyway, yeah, they was on it. So I watched some of that, but for the whole platform was ratchetness, and it definitely emphasized that. And yeah, that's it, Adrian. Thank you. Raz B. That's his name. Raz B. Thank you. That's it right there. That's it right there. I forgot. Raz B. You're right. So it wasn't, because in the interview he was saying that basically how he was putting it, he was giving them a voice, boss them up. Basically, they can progress on an urban platform, right? They could be themselves, and they could progress. But when you actually watched it, it wasn't showing anything but the culture acting exactly how society thinks the culture is, when it's not. It's not all. Don't get me wrong. There are some people that are that way, but the entire culture is not about that. And what he done, the shows never progressed the culture. It never helped our culture. It never elevated our culture. In fact, it put negativity on our culture. Yes, Jenny, culture vulture is what it was. Adrian says, my twins watch shows on there faithfully, and I can't do it. Just hearing the mess irks me. It should. Because there's no substance to it. There's no growth to it. There's nothing educational to it. Right? It doesn't help us move forward in any kind of way, in any kind of standard. So like I said, I watched those shows and I was just like, so let me see if there's a game on. Because I had a good 5 minutes of it. Once I just found out what the argument was about, what was going on, and then that was it. And then, and a lot of the people that were on there, a lot of them really wasn't about what they was even. I don't know. I just felt like, and I think with Me Too though. I think with Me Too, from my wife and my stepdaughter doing the whole what's that MTV 16 and Pregnant on MTV, and seeing how, because we would be there filming, right? And one thing we noticed about that show, about the episode that they were on, anything that was positive, they completely deleted from the show. But anything negative, they put on there. You see what I'm saying? So I got it like, nah, I see. They trying to feed a certain kind of negative entity, a vibe. They're trying to send that out to people. Because anything positive, they completely cut out. They kept asking my wife about her daughter's father, and she had already told them he's never been around. I don't like him. He's a deadbeat. He's a a-holic and stuff like she suffers from separation anxiety, not separation, but I can't think of the word. But anyways, by him not being there, and I've told this story before. Like, this is, of course, that was long before I knew who my wife was, but she had her first daughter. But one of the stories that I do remember hearing when we got together, I heard it quite a few times, was when her daughter was in elementary school. It bothered her because they had a daddy-daughter donut day. Or donuts with dads day. And her friends in her class, their dads came. And hers didn't. Now, I wasn't there. I didn't know my wife. This is back, 90, 94, 90, 95? So I didn't know her. No, this wasn't back in 95. This was, this had to be around 99. It had to be around 99, 2000, something like that. But in any event, what I'm saying is I don't know her. I wouldn't, so I can't speak on it. But what I do know is that it bothered her daughter to this day. Like, and that's why I took it upon myself one evening. We were out and about, and we was on the way home. I was like, I told my wife, I said, hey, call your mom, because her daughter lived with her mom. I said, call your mom and ask her if Ariana's home. And so she called her mother, and her mother said, yeah, she's here. Why? And she told her mom what I was going to do, but told her don't tell Ariana. So we pulled up to their apartment and stuff. My monster-in-law came out, and we was waiting for Ariana to come downstairs. But what I had done was because that bothered me. I'm not her dad, but that bothered me. It bothered me a lot. So while we were on the way over there, we stopped by Dunkin' Donuts. I got 2 donuts. So when she came downstairs, when Ariana came downstairs, my wife's daughter, Ariana, when she came downstairs, she came outside to the car. I took the donuts out of the bag. I said, listen, I wasn't there back then. I don't know why he didn't show up. You know what I mean? It's messed up. And I know I'm only your stepdad. But if you want, and if you don't mind, we can have the Donuts with Dad day now. Here's your donut. Here's my donut. And I mean, she just started to just, but that really bothered me. That really bothered me. To the point now, whenever we go to Ohio and visit my wife's family, if we ever catch him, her dad, out in the street, the live after that gonna be asking for bond money. But I cannot understand why a man can leave his own seed. And I know people's like, well, he had his addiction, and he couldn't fight his whole family because my wife has tried to tell me that in several conversations we've had about it, and I come up with the same response. He could have changed it. Just because we are a product of something doesn't mean we have to become that. At the end of the day, he didn't want to be in her life because my wife didn't want to continue dating him. She wanted to go be with other people, and he didn't like that. Right, Jenny? Jenny says, but he had a responsibility to that baby. pointblank.com. I don't care if my wife didn't want to be with him no more. That's his baby. And the thing about it through all of that, and I'm going to get back to the audio, but the thing about it with all of that, by that transpiring, by him doing that, by her feeling this way, I'm talking about Ariana, it created a lifelong person just came in here named John Mayer. Had a John Mayer name. I like he was a good artist. But it's created this person, this behavior with Ariana to where it's hard to be around her. In fact, we don't even speak to them. I can't think. She's lied so much on my wife. She's lied so much on me. We've been to court to try to get grandparent rights to our grandson, but she holds him. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm not going to even get into it. Jenny, you know, we've talked about it before. But the thing about it is, we still hadn't talked. But that just all goes back to what her dad did to her. Not being there. Leaving her. And yeah, my wife, she does have to take some blame in it because she spoiled her growing up. She does have to take some, because I'm going to tell you, I think if she would have, no, I ain't going to say that on here. Just know I'm going to leave it right there. But my wife is the same. She, you know, I could have done things differently. I should have done things. I should have punished her when she needed to be punished. You know, things like that. Yeah, but the thing about it is, I give my wife her flowers, even though she don't like flowers. I give her flowers because she never made Ariana feel like she wasn't loved. She never made Ariana go without something she needed. But at the same time, she also told me, like, you know, I didn't want to badmouth her dad because I wanted her to grow up and see how she is, how he is. But the thing about that is, it backfired. Now, I'm not saying she should have went and bashed him, but like I told y'all before, I'm always honest with my kids. I'm 150% honest with my kids. Good, bad, and indifference. I'm going to say my part that was bad. I'm going to tell you the part that your mother did that was bad. And I'm going to tell you how we could have not went through that, but we did, right? But by her doing that, Ariana's like her dad. So she badmouths and thinks badly of her mother, who was there for her the whole time. Jessica says, I've always tried to overcompensate for the dad not being present. Yeah, and you're not the only. You're not the only. Just the thing about that is you can't. You can't, because all you can do is be the mom that you are. You know, my oldest, her mother does the same thing to her second child. Because his dad was nowhere in the picture. And she always spoiled him. And she told my oldest daughter, well, you know, you got your dad, and her youngest son, he has his dad, but her middle child didn't. He didn't. So that's why she does it. Can't do it. Yeah, I'm not saying, yeah. Listen, I'm not saying bash him. I'm definitely not saying to bash him. I'm just saying be honest. Prime example. The day he didn't show up for the Donuts with Dad's Day, Ariana asked her mother when she got home from school, Mommy, why don't my daddy love me or want me? Why don't he want me? And she said, baby, that's not true. He just got... No, I wouldn't. Me, and I'm not saying I'm doing it right, but I just wouldn't have lied to my child that way. Hey, Jess-Ann, how you doing? Good morning, bestie. All right. I'm sorry. We're going to get back to the audio now. I'm sorry.
And I probably should note what's very important, is very unique about Zeus Network is that it's not just that it's subscription based, but what he did specifically was he took what they call influencers, right? Which I think is a very easy way of just saying plants, people that are placed in position to help lead the masses in the wrong direction. People like Black China, who he just referenced. People like Blueface, right? people like Jocelyn or Joycelyn, however you pronounce her name, who gained her popularity years back from her relationship with Stevie J. When you take people like this who have very little morals, right, don't follow God, it's not a coincidence that these people are placed in position and then they're pumped with alcohol, pumped with drugs, and then cameras are placed in their faces. They get their own television shows, and then it's all about fighting and the most destructive morals you can think of in the world. Which reminds me, I remember when he went on to DJ Academics, I interviewed him, and as much as I don't agree with a lot of things that DJ Academics represents, I was very shocked to see when he interviewed this guy, whom a lot of people, I'm sure most of his audience didn't even know who this guy was, and he asked him, do he feel even remotely responsible for the things that he pushed on his network?
I'm saying...
Curvin the second says, do you know what double negative is? Let me ask you this first. Are you trying to be funny? Are you trolling? Or are you asking a question for a reason? Okay, you said seriously. All right. So what do you mean double negative? Are you talking about in speaking? Or are you talking about as far as what this creator or the platform did? Not this platform, of course. Come on, Curvin. I got to keep it moving, brother. Yes, I do know what a double negative. I'm asking, are you talking about in like speaking, or are you talking about what this person did? I mean, how he ran his show. All right, Mods, go ahead. Invite Curvin, Mr. Curvin, to the block party, okay? I feel like he's trying to. He's yeah. So let's get going. Curvin, enjoy the block party.
If you only show,
I'm not only going. I feel like we're at
it's a lot of fighting.
We're at a unique time. I think first of all, people are desensitized. With all
No,
sorts
it's
of-
not.
No,
What?
if you take out Zeus, do you know on social media every day? Every day, there's so much stuff happens on
Well,
social
Zeus
media.
is pretty much network TV.
What makes us different than HBO? What makes us different than?
If
hold
I
on,
go
hold
to
on,
Go, I
let me
don't
hold
see
on, let me
Netflix.
finish. What are you talking? HBO used to have real. They used to have people walking around.
That
But
was- you're right.
okay, but hold on, wait. HBO, listen. HBO has so many. Like whether it's scripted, unscripted, it doesn't matter. They promote the same way we do. Why do I have to? Why ask HBO why they do what they do? Listen, no, I'm asking. No,
Balance.
listen, no, balance.
If-
What do you
if-
mean
if-
balance?
if every
no,
name a show on your network where
it's only we only have so many shows.
Name a
Hold on, wait.
that's successful.
Listen, we only have so many. We're not HBO. We haven't been around for 20 plus years.
You know it's bad when DJ Academics is asking you that same question. The same person in DJ Academics who helped push drill music, who helped popularize drill music, and a lot of the things out of the Chicago culture, literally asked this man, does he feel responsible for the things that he pushing on his network? So first and foremost, I want you to take note that he slipped up. I believe it was him slipping up and mentioning the fact that people are so desensitized, because he's not lying. We're so desensitized as a country, as a world, as a people, to fights, to drama, to all of the nonsense, to all the ungodly things in the world. We're so desensitized to it that we shouldn't be holding him responsible if we're not going to hold people like HBO responsible. But if you're leaving programs like BET so that you can create a platform that's different, but then you want to be held to the same standard as them, what makes you any different?
That part.
What makes you any different, bro? You're talking about on the Breakfast Club, he mentioned people, he want to give people an opportunity to make some real money. Let me tell you something. Anytime a person looks at you and say, real money, come over here and make some real money, run in the other direction. If you are a young person and you watching this video, please hear me out when I say this. If you don't take anything else from this video, if a person makes a statement to you, let's make some real money, go the other direction. Because whatever they're talking about is ungodly. Whatever they're talking about is borderline illegal, if not illegal. The fact that Lemmy, the fact that this guy comes from a rich family, comes from a great background in the sense from a socioeconomic standpoint. just so he can get into position so that he can give creators a better opportunity to create all these shows, baddies this, baddies that, everything's bad, to then push these demoralizing, these destructive morals or these lack of morals to low socioeconomic people in these urban communities is the epitome of evil. Because you should understand the audience a little bit better that you're reaching. You're worse than the rich white people who are, or the rich white Jews that own these record labels, because they don't even understand these populations. You have a lot closer relationship to these people, and you're leading them to hellfire. You are leading them in the...
He could have done it differently. He had all the means to do it differently and didn't. Jenny said, real money's selling your soul. Yes. Yes. That's exactly why he was saying run the other way.
The wrong direction in the name of getting rich and famous. How dare you? And I think far too often what we see in these communities is that we give people pass after pass after pass, and it's not until people are criminally charged or criminally accused or being sued in a civil suit before all of a sudden we like, you know what? I don't know why we supported him to begin with. No, we should be doing that now. This dude is evil, man. They get up there with the fresh haircuts, the nice little jewelry and watches and the Balenciaga shoes, and their souls as black and as...
He's talking about the guy who started the I don't know what it's called, the app Zeus Network, and how it's the content he put up was negative for the culture. It wasn't advancing the culture. Things like that. Yeah, like Jenny said, destroying the culture in the name of a profit. Basically what he was doing. Yeah. He's saying that he left BET to start something different. And he ended up doing the same thing, if not worse. And so we had a guy who played on a show on that platform. His name is Aaron the Plumber. And he was stating how it's satanic ritualistic things happening on the show.
As dark and as filthy as they come, looking like us, leading us to hellfire. We have to call these people out for who they are. Exploiting our women. You can't come on these shows if you're going to be positive. You can't come on these shows if you're going to dress appropriately. You have to support everything that's good is going to be called evil. Everything's evil is going to be called good. It's flipped. It's reversed. That's the world that we live in today. For him to create his own subscription,
shout out to my dog,
it's brilliant
Pastor
from a business
Troy,
perspective.
for his song Vice
because
Versa.
it's working.
That's what it's about.
Because he understands that people are so desensitized to it. That's what people want to see. People are just living their life and just going along with the motion.
Good one,
like sheep.
Jenny.
And he knows that he's exploiting our people instead of giving us the truth,
Jessica said,
which is
okay,
Jesus
I believe
Christ.
it. Those
So I just
people
want to
are
end this
weird.
video by
They
saying
are.
this. How do we break free from this? What's the solution? One of the biggest solutions, and I'm not saying that we need to get rid of TV altogether, but I think the first thing we need to do is be selective.
Facts.
Got
You are so right, bestie.
That adds value to our life, not just distractions, not just something to help bypass the time, to help us escape from reality, because a lot of us are dealing with depression and we're unhappy with our life and our situations and our circumstances. The second thing is, we've heard it before, but we really need to practice this, and I need to practice this. We have to limit our screen time. Whether that be not just real reality TV shows, but social media altogether. Because the more social media that we watch, the more depression we're going to feel. It's not going to help the problem. It's just putting a Band-Aid over it. The next thing is, we need to question everything. If we're watching something, we need to be asking ourselves, is it adding value to our life? Is it benefiting us to watch this? Am I constantly seeing the same thing over and over? Is there a pattern across different television shows? And if so, why? Why is there a pattern? Why is it the same things? What's the message? What's the agenda behind it? And the last thing I think we need to do, and I know we need to do actually, is we need to read the Word of God. And I know a lot of people are going to be turned off by it, but that's okay because it's true. We need to open up our Bibles. We need to read the Word of God. That's what we need to do, including myself. We have to grow closer to God. We have to grow closer to Jesus Christ and gain a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. Because the stuff we see on TV, whether it's real, whether it's scripted or it's not, we have to understand that it's adding depression to our lives. It's not adding value.
Seamless
Straight
24,
up.
welcome
That's
in.
all that I have for this one, man. I would love to hear from you all. Hop in the comment section. Tell me if you knew who this.
That's my first time ever hearing any content by him. I want to subscribe to him. I've already liked this video. Yeah, man. And so what he's saying is totally on point. It is totally on point. And that's, again, that's what Be the Light and I was talking about at the end of the first show yesterday. It is so vital that we push positivity out and share that in unison. You know, you never know. You never know what you could say or how your words could just pick somebody up. You don't know what they're going through in their life or what happened that day. And you could just say, and it could be the smallest thing. Do you not know that you could walk by somebody and just say hello? And it could just change their complete mind frame because you acknowledge them. And that's the one thing that they feel like they're not being acknowledged. They feel like they're not worth anything to anybody. And so the fact that you stopped and said hello, that could just completely change their mind frame. Jenny says, you never know what someone else is going through. It's free to be positive. Yes, and I want to pin. Can you pin that? Yes, it's free. It's free, man. And I just think that the sooner that people get in that mind frame, and don't get me wrong, even when you get in that mind frame, you are still going to encounter people that just want to exert negativity. But that's when you have to let your positivity, your aura, reign over that. And you just continuously push that out. And then it'll come back tenfold. And it gets to a point where, especially when you decide to surround your people with like mind of being positive, you know, then things are, I mean, you'll see yourself flourish. It'll just flourish. And okay, let me do the puzzle piece. Thank you all too for set a new goal. Thank you all for that gifting. I appreciate it. But that's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. All right. And so I want to shout him out for that, because that's exactly what we were getting at. And also, I want to shout out Aaron the plumber for stating what goes on basically behind the curtain, because that's another thing we talk about. And that's another thing that people think is just a joke and isn't true. You know, like as if we are just suffering from paranoia, when in all actuality, we're telling you, we're bringing to you the things that really go on. Just saying says you can't control how people are, but you can control how you respond to it. I love that, bestie. I love that. Yes. We can pin that one too. That's exactly what it's about. You got to have discernment. Like, and don't get me wrong. We just had a character in here, the Curvin dude. I felt myself about to come. I was giving my energy to him because I felt like he was one of those people, right? And so, but I had to pull back and just, you know what, just alleviate him, just get him, move him out the way, let me go on and do what I'm doing. I can't because if I give him that energy, guess who won? Not me. Not me. And I like winning. I love winning. You know? All right. Let's move on to our second segment. Now, this one right here is a little, this guy, he actually graduated from high school and lived about 15 to 20 minutes west of me. And I know a few people who went to school with him. In fact, my oldest daughter, her mother's youngest son went to school with him. And I know another person, her name is Cody, she went to school with him. And they both have said, he's nothing like that. He's nothing like what he is. Mustafa, good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining in, by the way. Saudi Arabia, all right. Mustafa says, good morning, brother. Greetings from Saudi Arabia. Stay encouraging the people. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Can we pin his comment too, Mars? Thank you so much, Mustafa. Welcome in. Welcome in. Please know you're welcome to come back at any time. He's not, okay, some people may not even understand or know who Lil Nas X is. He had a song, and they're going to say that. He had a song, I think it's called Old Town or something like that, and that just launched him into another stratosphere in the music industry. But he also came off as G-A-Y. And he promoted a lot of satanic stuff. Jenny says he's about the agenda. Stay there. Right. Old Town Road. Okay, thank you, Adrian. Show you, I ain't. I mean, I knew. Yeah, Old Town Road. I listened to, I think, one song he had, and I can't remember the name of that neither. But I do know I can't remember the name of it. But that was like the only song that I liked. I didn't care for Old Town Road. I didn't care for anything else. He's also one of the big, and when I'm telling you this, it's things that stood out about him. Okay, he released a shoe, and don't quote me, I think it was through Nike, but it was alleged to have real BLOOD, or it was some kind of satanic stuff, but it was supposed to have BLOOD in it. The reason why I bring that up is because those people who I said went to school with him and know him, they said he's nothing like that. He stated he did it because that's what got him over. That's what got him to the game. That's what they wanted, which goes to what Jenny was saying. He's pushing that agenda. And so he did those things. And so like we said, selling his soul. Now, this is from Rap Lore. Never heard of him, but we're going to see. And it says, Lil Nas X's career is over. Here's why. So, Just Ann says, I think in order to make it big, you have to push it. Yes. You have to go and conform to what they want you to do, or they can have you blackballed and make it to where you can never be successful, regardless of the talent, regardless of how good you are. Jenny says where they call Satan Air Max. They were called Satan. Oh, okay, see, I didn't even know that. Yes. Yeah, he's not hiding it at all. So now y'all know that Jenny just put it in there. You all can go and look that up. Let's see why his career is over. Allegedly, what they're saying here. I don't know. Like I said, we're watching this in real time together. So let's see if he says, let's see if it's over because he's not going against the agenda. Or let's see if he tried to do something outside of what they wanted him to do. I don't know. Let's see.
Lil Nas X really went from being a record-shattering hitmaker to being completely washed. How did this happen?
It's been a lot of shit going on.
Love him or hate him, the world has never seen an artist like Lil Nas X. The guy literally went from being a full-time social media troll to the ultimate overnight celebrity. But after shattering countless records and inspiring fierce backlash, Lil Nas X has faded from the spotlight, leading the entire world to wonder how could he have fumbled one of the biggest bags the music industry has ever seen? What really happened? That's why we're doing a full breakdown of Lil Nas X's epic rise to fame and his humiliating fall from grace. What's the origin story behind his breakout hit record Old Town Road? What happened when Lil Nas X tried to be more than a one-hit wonder? And which superstar rappers refused to work with him? We've even done a deep dive into Lil Nas X's recent career moves, including the highly controversial music video that destroyed his momentum. Why did Lil Nas X publicly apologize for the video's content? And why aren't fans rocking with his new album rollout? Finally, we're gonna address the elephant.
There's one more thing he done that stood out, and that got had people talking, and I forgot to mention, which I don't even understand how I forgot to mention this. Like, this is weird, but he took a photo, and it was as if he was pregnant. Yeah. No, there's nothing. No. You heard me correct. There's nothing in your coffee. Nobody slipped you a mick in your coffee. You heard me correctly. A man, Lil Nas X, took a picture portraying himself as being pregnant. I know what you're thinking. I will never stop by that coffee shop again. There's something in this coffee. No, it's not. Mustafa says Satan has blinded the mindset of the entertainment world. Be not conformed to this world. Man, let's give it up for Mustafa. Love that. Yes. I love that's Mustafa, boy. You stated some facts there, man, and that's real spill.
In the room, is there any chance of a Lil Nas X comeback, or is his flop era the ultimate warning to the next generation of artists trying to go viral?
How does Lil Nas X make money? Nas makes song about horse. Nas makes song about sandwich. Money come.
Make your browser fast.
That was when before he got into. That's when he was just a social media person.
Before the world knew him as Lil Nas X, he was just a kid named Montero Lamar Hill. Montero had a pretty tricky childhood. Born in Atlanta, Georgia, Montero spent his formative years with his mother in the city's notorious Bankhead housing projects. Bankhead famously has ties to...
Listen, a lot of you are not from Atlanta, and it's torn down now. But Bankhead Courts was one of the most notorious apartment complexes in ATL. Back in the 90s, look, you only went there if you was wanting to get into some trouble. You was getting in some trouble. Be it you was buying it, be it you was selling it, being it you was making it. Now, I didn't know that's where he started his youth at, but I'm just saying that is a bad place. It's no longer around now. They tore it all down, but that was pretty rough. If that's where he started, that's where he lived when he was younger. Woo.
To some of the biggest names in Atlanta's storied rap history, from T.I. and Shawty Lo to Young Dro and D4L. However, by the time he was 9 years old, Lil Nas X moved out of Atlanta to live with his father, who was a gospel singer. While Lil Nas X picked up his dad's love for music, his real passion was all about going viral. It was during that time that Lil Nas X heavily invested into the internet. He spent his teenage years obsessively creating memes and trolling on social media. He even ran an extremely popular Nicki Minaj stan account on Twitter that was called Nas Mirage, racking up over 5 million followers. But despite his social media savviness, Lil Nas X admitted he was pretty directionless and lonely when it came to his real life.
Now, let's point out that for a second, because a lot of people may not get that. That's another way or avenue how people of that group find you and discover you once they see on your social media, because, you know, sometimes a lot of people, they want followers. They want the followers. They want a following. Like, and yeah, that's cool. But the thing about it is, when you reach a certain level or amount of that, that's when it captures the attention of those people that partake in these satanic activities, because it lets them know this person is very influential. And that's what they want to do, influence the masses to do. Oh, you got it. Mustafa says, we will be praying for that brother as long as he has breath. God can change and deliver him. Yes, that. Mustafa, there hasn't been a truer comment said today than that. You are right, brother. Jenny says that's what Hollywood is after, the influencers. Exactly. So when you automatically go 500,000 and a million and something, and they're like, oh, so people are paying attention to this person. Well, let's offer this to them. And of course, especially if he started in Bankhead Court's apartment, I'm like, oh my God, that's a lot. I've never seen that amount. Okay, let's do that. And then before you know it, you caught. Jesse says, I want followers too, but my morality won't allow me to do those things. And see, you're right. I believe that. I believe that you would stick to your morality. You're grounded, level-headed, you know. So I believe you on that, bestie. Now, I think his downfall, and this is just me, in my opinion, right? I think his downfall was by him being so young and not really having the, what you call it? Like a structure or strong home life. It may have caused that. You see what I'm saying? I'm not sure. Hold on one second. All right. Okay. I tell you, you know, that's another thing that happens when we start telling the truth about this stuff. We get a lot of the weirdos coming in here. I've noticed that too. They start to send their workers at us. But they don't know we already protected by the armor of God, so we don't worry about that, right?
He tried to go to college for computer science only to drop out a year later. In an interview with Time magazine, he admitted that music was the first thing that gave him a sense of real purpose. Quote, it was like, I'm able to go viral, but I'm not promoting anything that's gonna help me until music came along. Which is funny because Lil Nas X really combined his two biggest passions, going viral and making music, when he made Old Town Road. In 2018, Nas bought a beat off a Dutch producer named Young Keo for just $30. He then went to a local Atlanta recording studio which had a $20 Tuesdays promotion, laying down his vocals in under an hour. Then the real work began. After recording the country-inspired Old Town Road, Lil Nas X cranked out over 100 memes to promote the song across TikTok. By early 2019, Old Town Road was becoming a fast-moving phenomenon. A hashtag Yeehaw challenge on TikTok blew up the song to supernova status, with millions of users posting their own Old Town Road edits. Within months, Lil Nas X went from being a TikTok trend to a Billboard blockbuster. Old Town Road crashed the entire music industry, ascending all the way to the #1 spot and breaking records as the longest-running chart-topping hit in history. The song even
Hey, so I'm seeing it says Billy Ray Cyrus helped him on that song. I don't know much about, I know he's Miley Cyrus's father, but I don't know much about Billy Ray Cyrus. So is there anybody in here that does? If you do, I just got a question. Is he part of that? Like, I don't know much about him to speak, so I don't know. Mustafa says, you stated his father. Hold on, no, I don't want to do no battles. Let's see. You stated his father sung gospel. That's why Satan attacked, to discredit the covering that God has. Ooh, I love that. Yeah, his dad was he did sing gospel. He was a preacher. Uh-huh. You were so right. Anonymous. Yes, Lil Nas X. Uh-huh. Just Ann says he was big in the 90s. Don't tell my heart, my achy break. Oh, that's him. Okay. Okay, yeah, I know that song. I don't know. Was he part of this, you know, that group that we can't, I'm starting to think this platform is a part of, because every time we talk about it and expose it, they get mad.
became the fastest selling diamond record ever and was boosted by a massive remix featuring Miley Cyrus's dad, Billy Ray Cyrus. Insiders quickly realized that Lil Nas X broke the system. A complete outsider to the industry, not only launched a hostile takeover of the Billboard charts, but he also
Downey
smashed
Digital said
every
on the remix.
conceivable
Oh, he was on the
record in
remix.
the
Okay,
process.
thank you.
But Lil Nas X's
Shout
rise
out to
to
you,
the
Downey
top
Digital.
also came
Thank
with tons of controversy.
I rebuke that music video. I rebuke it. I rebuke it in the
Adrian
name of
said,
Jesus.
I feel they dabbled
Old Town
in it.
Road was quietly taken off Billboard's Hot Country charts before it ever reached #1. The reason given for the song's removal was that it, quote, didn't embrace
DJ Richie Rich, shout out to you, says Lil Nas X had a quick career, laugh out loud. Well, you just in time, because that's what we're trying to find out. Allegedly, they're going to tell us why the career is over. And that's what we're trying to work to. I have noticed, I think the last song, no, it wasn't the last, I don't think it was the last song. It was the song before the last. And I can't remember. Man, I wish I could remember the name of it, but I can't call it. But what I know is that, like, that's the only song by him I liked, or with Rock in the car. It ain't gonna come to me. I'm not gonna even hold y'all. It's not gonna come to me. It's just not. It's just not. Daybreak 76. What's going on, bestie? Says, I watched the show last night. Did you see my comment I left on the channel? Oh no, I didn't. I got to go and see it. I got to go. I'll tell you what. When I'm done with the show here, I'll go and I'll comment back to you. And so that way my fellow cast members will know you my peoples, all right? And thank you for watching it. Thank you so much. What did you think about it? You seen Jenny got away. She got missing. She got gone. She was out of Dodge before the dope girls got there. Well, one of them took the picture of Jenny and Dirty. Oh, Bessie, you was in the live chat too? Oh man, okay. I gotta go back and look. Daybreak said I watched it twice. I like it. Thank you. I love it. Thank you. Are y'all ready for episode 5? Okay, let me ask you this, Daybreak. Daybreak 76. Did you watch episode 1, 2, 3, and 4 before you watched episode 4 last night? Or did you just watch episode 4 last night? Anonymous said, you see that Julian Brown has to hide due to being threatened by the government. Oh no, I didn't know about that, Anonymous. Daybreak said, was y'all live? I missed it. Live for... Hold on, I don't know what you're talking... What you mean? You mean, oh, you talking about, was it live last... No. I got you. I follow you now. No, we wasn't live. It's, we recorded the scenes. We try to record... Let's see, we film... I'm trying to think. Because we just wrapped episode 8, like a week and a half ago. We just wrapped episode 8. We've got another one coming up that's going to be really, really big. But episode 8 is really. I'm looking forward to all of them really because the story is good. Like, here's the thing, and we'll get back to that. Hold on, people. The thing about it is it's crazy because even though we are there filming and making it, when it comes on, it still captures our attention. We're still into it. It's as if we don't know what's going to happen, you know? And so, and I try to tell we do have real actors on the people that do that for their job. But the thing about it, I try to let the ones that's not really actors, that's just, this is their first project, I try to let them know that whenever you can watch the show and you be intrigued as if it's just a viewer who isn't part of the show, you see it from that perspective, then you done a great job. You understand? And I'll take it like this. I'll put it like this, just like when in wrestling. When we have a match, if we do something in our match, and the ladies and the gentlemen in the back buy into it, or they don't know, we can kind of tug on their emotions. It's a great job. It's a great job. It's a great job. You see what I'm saying? So, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I appreciate that. Says I didn't see any live chat. I watched episode 4. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So I'm not sure. Some people may have commented in there. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't commenting. I was watching, but I wasn't commenting because I was in the middle of talking to somebody. I'm still trying to work on my cousin's case and get him out. And I had a person, I don't want to say too much because of what she does. But based on her position, I don't want to say too much. But just know that my wife and I was talking to her. And so I was more focusing on that and watching the show. I'm going to go watch it again after this show, though. Mustafa says, the movie Sinners reminds me of Nas X and his talent. Hollywood is the vampires. Ooh, I love that analogy. I love that comparison and analogy. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Sinners, yeah, you got to watch it. That's a good movie. Jenny says, I've had my notifications on since episode 3. Okay, good. Now, but you've seen 1, 2, and 3, correct, Jenny? And now 4, because you said you watched it last night. And Jenny, I bet you didn't even know that was you, right? They were talking about you. But you'll see how it all tie. You'll see how it all tie together. He said, "Oh yeah," and been in the last chat. Oh yeah, yeah. It's gonna all tie together. You're gonna come back in town.
Embrace enough elements of today's country music. Country purists trashed Old Town Road for basically using a sample and a drum machine, but some critics argued that the reasoning was just a slick, backhanded way to keep a black artist from becoming the top-selling country musician of all time. Others argued that Lil Nas X was just a passing fad. While Old Town Road was beating down the competition, some thought that he'd just gotten super lucky by going by.
Amy,
Despite
good morning.
impressive
How you doing,
streaming
Bestie?
numbers, Lil Nas X was largely
Glad you made it
seen as a
in. How's your day going?
And honestly, it's easy to see why. Even though Old Town Road was a monster hit, Lil Nas X was basically a kid with zero track record. His only claim to fame besides this one song was being a die-hard Nicki Minaj fan on social media. Fans argued that he had absolutely peaked and that it was all downhill from here. But to his credit, Lil Nas X began to prove people wrong. His follow-up to Old Town Road, the single Panini, was also very successful. It peaked at number 5 on the charts and earned Lil Nas X a Grammy.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're doing
Nas
good.
also became a much more visible
And I
celebrity.
hope they don't keep
In
you
June
waiting
of
long.
2019, he came out of the closet, instantly turning him into one of the industry's most visible and successful young gay singers. It also added to his image of being an authentic, off-the-cuff rising star and teed up his biggest power play yet. In 2021, Lil Nas X dropped a brand new song called Montero, Call Me By Your Name. Not only did the song debut as Lil Nas' second chart-topping hit record, but it sparked a firestorm of controversy and debate over its music video, which featured Lil Nas X riding a stripper pole down to hell. Conservative critics blasted the video as blasphemous and anti-Christian, claiming that Lil Nas X was deliberately trying to influence children.
Now, a couple things we need to dissect in that last passage there. So, if you hear, the first thing he said was he came out of the closet as G.A.Y. That catapulted him in a way because of he came out that way, right? And that's fine. We know listen, stay focused. Then he started doing the video of outwardly showing his alignment with the darker side of things. And again, I'm trying to use words that, you know, this platform don't trip. Right? But the main thing, well, I can't say the main thing, but the biggest thing is that was said, he was young. He had no knowledge of the music industry. He got fame and wealth at a alarming rate of speed. You see what I'm saying? These are elements that mess people up. Mustafa said Elton John encouraged him to come out to become more successful. And that did. Now, Mustafa, like I said, the people I know that went to school with him, they said he's not even that. He's not even that way. Now, whether or not he was and didn't show it then, that could be a very strong possibility. But I'm just saying, you know, there's somebody, and I hate to even bring her up, but if you know Woe Vicky, she knows him personally. Unfortunately, Woe Vicky is from my hometown, or from here, and it pains me to say that. But yes, Amy, Lil Nas X, But they were saying he's not even that way. So it makes me, I don't know. Maybe when you said that Elton John told him to do that to become more successful, that's the lane, that's the narrative that they wanted him to push, and that's why he done it. I don't know. Or he could have legit been that way, and of course, by him going to school with them, he didn't let them know or let it show. Maybe being afraid of what people would think about it, which I don't know why that would be, because if you know about Lithia Springs, I mean, that would be nothing. You know, but maybe. Just Ann says, I just noticed your logo, Smooth. Laugh out loud. I love it. Yeah, that's. I'm talking to this platform from what they did to the show yesterday. You know, I'm back doing it anyways. I'm gonna state this truth, right? Thank you, Jess Ann. I appreciate that. Jenny says, it seems like younger folks are probably now, and nothing against those who are. No, right. No, it's, we're in a day and age where it's commonplace now. You know, so there's really nothing to be ashamed of or to hide. I know some people still feel like they do, but they don't, you know. Amy says, I thought he was on the same team, so that's not true. No, well, that's the thing, Amy. Like, the people I know that went to high school with him, like I said, my oldest daughter, her mother's youngest son, he went to high school with him, and he's like, oh, he was nothing like that in high school. Nothing like, you know, GAY. But even before he became an artist, and he was just a social media personality, he really didn't appear that way. But Mustafa just said that Elton John told him to come out and it would make him be more successful, and to that I'm saying, because, okay, and I'm gonna tell you why I say this too, Amy, because at one point, Lil Nas X said he wasn't that way as well. He just did it for the industry in order to make the money. But did he? Right, good question. But did he? I don't, you know, I'm not sure. I can say that from what I see on here, as far as from his social media presence or a social media person, he wasn't Old Town Cowboy kind of he was just in a country western thing. And then it kind of trended. Okay, so then he came out and said that he was that way. And then the success, like he had more songs hit the charts, and the video started getting more demonic. So if I'm looking at the timing, it's kind of looks like everything it could be he was going with what they wanted the narrative or wanted the narrative for him to push. But then again, that could have just been him. I don't know. Jess Ann says, if I was that way, sorry, it went up. I'd be upset about someone faking it for fame. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. Amy says, I wish the record labels would leave these kids alone. Damn. Yeah, that's the thing, Amy. I wish, but remember, it goes back to, remember we did a show, and I'm going to use my words carefully, mods, but Amy, remember we did a show about the harvesting? Remember? That, and so that's why they mess with these young people. You see what I'm saying? Are the people that's not the age of consent. I got it, Bessie. Watching what I'm saying. Eye on my lip, watching my mouth. I got it. I got it. I promise. So, by him being young and coming into the business, I think that's what the downfall was. All right, my mom said
Nas X, for the most part, laughed off the controversy and even used it as a segue to disrupt an entirely different industry. In order to promote Montero, Lil Nas X announced a collaboration with an art collective called Mischief. They released a limited batch of 666 Nike Air Max 97 Satan shoes to fans. Not only do these custom Nikes contain...
That's the shoe that Jenny and I was telling you all about before we started the segment. Mustafa said the industry promoted it and encouraged it to make the lifestyle more acceptable. You are absolutely on point, Mustafa, because they saw that he was influential, judging by the followers he gained on his social media stuff. And then by him doing that, they knew that he could influence other people of age not consent to do it. That's not of age of consent to do it. Amy says, my son said one was cloud-like and one was D-O-like. Yeah, this one is the one that's allegedly has the B-L-O-O-D in it, in the air pocket. I used to work at a shoe store. I used to be an assistant manager at a shoe store as well. So Nike Airs, because I got the air pocket. Adidas has Adaprin. Asics has gel. Yeah, it says it has B-L-O-O-D in it.
Contains satanic imagery like upside down crosses and pentagrams, but the artists who designed these kicks even mixed their own blood with the ink. Basically, while the whole world was calling Lil Nas X a Satanist for his Montero music video, he was doubling down and saying, yeah, and I'm about to make a bag off this shit too. Each pair of Satan shoes cost $1,018, and despite the hefty price tag, all 666 custom shoes sold out in under 1 minute. Despite the huge sales success, Nike quickly targeted Lil Nas X and the art collective Mischief with a multi-million-dollar lawsuit alleging that their trademark had been infringed on. The lawsuit was later settled, but it only added to Lil Nas X's growing reputation as someone who refused to play by the rules. But the Satan shoes also fueled controversy around Lil Nas X's celebrity. South Dakota Governor Christy Noel, who is now the Secretary of Homeland Security, blasted Lil Nas X on social media, calling his Satan shoes a symbol of America's spiritual decline. Quote, our kids are being told that this kind of product is not only okay, it's exclusive. But do you...
All right. Let me pause right there because I'm gonna make some people mad. I'm gonna make some people mad. But hashtag I'm gonna say it, right? So here it goes. Anybody that is sitting here in the current administration and allowing what's happening to happen does not reserve the right to speak about somebody's spiritual things and how it is wrong. Okay? I love all of you, and I know some of you may not agree with what I'm saying, and that's okay. That's fine. We can agree to disagree. But you cannot be a part of the administration that's in the House now, given what's going on. And then you think you reserve the right to say anything about Lil Nas X's demonic spiritual stuff or anything like that. Right? Right, Pink Tech, or the last administration. But the thing about that, love, is that nobody from the past administration is saying anything about it. This lady is from the current. You know? So that's the thing on that's the difference right there. You know? Right. It has been going on for a long time. However, like I said, you cannot say something about it. Let me put it to you this way, my love. I can't call you out for something that I do. Right? So, and I'm just, Rap God Thanos, I was just about to head there too. Thank you. You can't blame Obama for what's going on now. When it was you, because see, he didn't say anything about putting no list out or anything like that. That's not what he ran his campaign on. Furthermore, he's not the president anymore. He can't be. From what I know, he can't be anymore. Right? So what I'm saying is you can't say something or even say you're going to do something and you build your whole rally on this, and then when it comes down for you to put that in motion, you decide not to. And when that happens, you can't blame Hunter. It has nothing to do with Joe. It has nothing to do with Obama. It has nothing to do with Clinton. None of these people hold the position. Now, what I want is for people to do the same thing we do. When it's stated that Clinton was on this person's list, I don't sit here and make no excuse. We don't sit here and try to deny that. In fact, to be honest, Clinton don't deny it. But Clinton didn't run on the objective that he was going to release these. Clinton didn't, he's not denying that he wasn't on there. Furthermore, he's no longer sitting in a position of pretender in chief. So that's where the problem comes in. So we're looking for, when it comes to this cheddar colored cult leader, when it comes to that, we're looking for people to hold them accountable. And what we mean by that is the same thing that we do. When you say Obama did this, or if you say Clinton did that, and if they done it and we see it, we say, yep, they sure did. We expect the same thing. Not a roundabout, not an escape, not a try to blame it on somebody. No. Definitively, yep, he did that and he's wrong for it. I think once we get there, then we may start making some headway with this. But back to this. Like I said, you cannot be in the current administration and given everything that's going on, given all the cover up that's going on, and you know what it's about, you cannot sit here and try to condone that and then try to call somebody else out on their morals. That's not going to work. It's not. It's completely Okay, but baby, we're not talking about just a political thing. I'm not talking. This is deeper. We're talking about people that's not of consent, and we're talking about these people coming out. We're talking about you saying when you rallying on your doing your rally. I don't know what I can say on this, but when you're doing your rally, and you tell your supporters that you're going to release these things, this particular thing, and then, okay, let me put it to you this way. Right. They all have done it. They all have told lies. Every politician does that. But that cannot be the answer to justify the current, capitalize and underline, current person that's holding office, trying to diffuse the fact of his participation in this. That's kindergarten stuff. When you say, well, Johnny did it. Well, Johnny's not the one who got caught on the playground doing something wrong. But when we see that they did, like I said, you and I have had this conversation in messages, and you send me something about Obama, and I said, well, yeah, I've heard he was there and did that. You know, how many times people say, well, you know, he's not who he is, and he's not American, and Michelle is Obama is really a man, and all of this. But nobody want to say nothing about these little people that this man hurt. These little people themselves. They didn't say Obama. They didn't say Clinton. But his name is in there. It's in the court files. So at what point do we get to, you know what? Yes, they are all wrong. But so is this one, including this one. Rap God Thanos says they don't care. It didn't happen to their family or friends. Yeah. You know. All right, Rap God Thanos. I'll be quiet. You're right. I'll be quiet. I'll move on. I have nothing. Matter of fact, I don't have tea, but I got coffee. Can I sip that? Just shut me up.
You know it's more exclusive than God-given eternal soul. We are in a fight for the soul of our nation. We need to fight hard, and we need to fight smart. We have to win. Lil Nas X fired back at Governor Noam, writing, quote, "You're a whole governor and on here tweeting about some damn shoes. Do your job." Lil Nas seemed more than happy to go directly at the people criticizing him, which not only made him more fans, but also made him more divisive. Instead of shying away from the controversy, Lil Nas X gleefully embraced it and forced fans to take a side. Either you were 100% with him or 100% against him. There was no middle ground at all. Lil Nas' strategy paid off when he dropped his debut album Montero in 2021. Not only did the album move over 120,000 units in its first week, but also minted another #1 Billboard hit, the song Industry Baby. That's the name of the song. By none other than Kanye West. The album even picked up a few Grammy noms, including Album of the Year. It seemed like Lil Nas X had outgrown the one-hit wonder label and became a full-fledged music star. That is until you look a little bit closer.
That's what it was. I couldn't think of the song for nothing. And if he didn't say it, I wouldn't have never figured it out. But that's the song I was trying to tell y'all about. Mustafa said they sold 666 pairs of shoes, so the math. Oh, it's in the numbers. It's in the numbers. You are so right on that.
I don't think I have the grip on controlling it. I feel like it does a lot of what it wants now, you know?
While Lil Nas X might have conquered the charts, he had a long way to go when it came to getting respect from his peers. During an interview with The Breakfast Club, Lil Nas admitted he directly approached Drake about getting a feature, only to be brutally curbed.
And
Thank you for the Go Populars. I appreciate that, bestie. Thank you.
This is like a few weeks ago, and I understood completely. And he said, you know, he's down to do something, but just not the right time. He was trying to get his own shit together.
In a follow-up interview with GQ, Lil Nas X declared that Drake was his idol and again spoke about how badly he wanted to work with him. Quote, I don't usually ask for features like that, but for every feature I did ask for
Thank
on
you
the
for the
album,
roses.
like every
I
single one
appreciate
of them
that, Jenny.
worked besides Drake. Nas even admitted he badly wanted to get a feature from his longtime hero, Nicki Minaj.
All right, Amy.
He claimed
Okay,
he
that's
also
cool.
reached out to her directly to get her on the album, only for Nicki to snub him. Also, in some ways, Lil Nas X's long-standing Nicki Minaj obsession began to really cost him. On the song Sun Goes Down, Lil Nas name-dropped Nicki, which led to intense backlash from her super active fan base, the Barbs. Quote, and nobody knows it when you're silent, I'd be by my phone, standing Nicki morning into dawn, only place I feel like I belonged. The Barbs accused Lil Nas X of using Nicki's name for clout, especially since he had previously denied being a Barb himself. When Lil Nas X finally admitted to running the account, Nicki publicly forgave him, writing, quote, it was a bit of a sting when you denied being a Barb, but I understand. Congratulations on building up your confidence to speak your truth. But Nicki's fans still felt like Lil Nas X was blatantly clout chasing. He addressed their concerns by promising to never mention her name again. Quote, to the Barbs who feel I'm using Nicki's name for attention, the song I released last night was recorded last year, and it's about my life, which 6 of those years were dedicated to Nicki. It's no fake love, but I understand how it looks, so I will no longer mention her. The messiness of Lil Nas going around and speaking to these failed featured requests alludes to something very important. Despite all these chart-topping hits and industry recognition, rap's biggest heavy hitters still didn't respect Lil Nas X enough to collaborate. Some critics even pointed out that all of Lil Nas X's wins were still based on internet antics and controversy, from Satan's Shoes to the sexually charged music video for Industry Baby. It seems like Lil Nas had figured out his formula and was running it back over and over and over again. And it seemed to be working, at least for now.
What ticks me off the most about this whole situation is that there are so many rappers and artists over the years who have portrayed themselves as Christ in some way, shape, or form, and they don't get any guff for it. But were any of these people calling on God to smite Lil Nas
Daybreak
X,
76, I've
crying
never
about any of
seen
this stuff?
anyone wearing
no, of
those
course
shoes.
not. It's just because
I guess they are not
he's
affordable.
gay, he's being a little silly with it, and they just hate the guy, and they're
No, I think they were like,
in January of 2024,
Like
Lil Nas X
$1,000?
put out his
Over
big comeback single, J Christ. But fans quickly noticed that Nas seemed to be repeating himself again. The J Christ music video borrowed heavily from the same playbook Lil Nas used for Montero. The video featured scenes of Lil Nas playing basketball against Satan, being crucified like Jesus, and him dressed up like Noah. But J Christ seemed to be deliberately designed to offend the same conservative Christian audience that hated the Montero music video. And while Montero might have gone to #1, the novelty looked a lot less appealing now that Lil Nas X was double dipping. The lyrics to J Christ also made it seem like the video served no other purpose than to become another viral phenomenon. Quote, is he about to give him something viral? Lecrae, the first rapper to win a Grammy for a gospel album, tweeted, okay, I gotta admit, Lil Nas is playing with fire mocking Jesus. He's getting the attention he wants from folks at the risk of searing his conscience. Still, if God can transform King Neb, murderers, slave masters, sex workers, etc., he can add another blasphemer to the list. Others echoed Lecrae's comment.
I'm not saying that's it. I don't know yet. I don't think we've gotten to that. This could be just the beginning of the downfall, but I will say this. Trying to flip-flop or switch or go against what you originally was brought on to do, that could cause issues.
And feeling like
get you blackballed.
Lil Nas X's attempts at satire had crossed the line. Critics agreed that Lil Nas X's provocations had lost their magic. While some previously defended Montero as tongue-in-cheek, fans now felt that J Christ was just Lil Nas desperately seeking attention, and they were sick of it. The thing about Montero is that plenty of people liked the song enough to get it to #1, but when it came to J Christ, barely anybody was defending the video. The backlash was so severe that Lil Nas X was forced to record a video apology where he admitted the music video was a huge misstep.
and I can act unbothered all I want, but it's definitely like taking a mental toll on me. This wasn't like a you to you people, you to the Christians. Like, it was not that. It was literally me saying, I'm back like Jesus. I was put on this earth to bring people closer together and promote love, and like that's who I am. I'm not like some.
Pause. I know. Pause. I just want to point things out as we go on. Do you see, as long as he was pushing that agenda, all of the success he got? Versus when he started to try to, I don't want to call it a backslide, because he could have, decided to change his ways or whatnot. But let's just put it this way. Opposed to when he started to basically come to Jesus and put him at the forefront, then he didn't have the same success. In fact, it was significantly different. What did you hear him say himself? I wanted to basically promote love, bring people together. That's the one thing they don't want. They don't want that. That's not what they want you to influence people to do.
Evil demon guy trying to destroy everybody's values and stuff like that. That's not me.
Lil Nas X pleaded with the public that he didn't mean to diss Christianity, but the big takeaway is that J. Christ shattered the perception of.
I think we could probably do both. I'd say they'd have to share. And the reason why I would say, reason why I had to say that Rap God Thanos is because the fans in the event that they even like that kind of thing, right? The industry, for knowing what it's about and basically preying on his youthism or him being young and not knowing about the industry and pushing that on him. So I'm going to say, I got to say both. Rap God Thanos says, I agree. I knew women that were talking about his video like it was great. And I remember when I first saw it, I'm going to be honest with you, brother. I was like, they put this on TV? Like, yeah, I know the agenda they push. I do know that. What I'm saying, it's like real. You know how we say, yeah, sickening. Very sickening. You know how we say they playing in our face? They put it like right there. Like, they not only playing in our face, but they were smearing it in our face. And it's just like, yo. Like, and then the thing about it, Rap God Thanos, is that it was disturbing, disappointing, and disgusting that people still they weren't getting it. In fact, they was promoting it. Like, it's like, yeah, Jenny says they didn't hide anything. No, not at all. They did not. They didn't pull the gloves off. I mean, they didn't pull no punches or anything like that. They put it right there on what they stood on. It's the same thing, and we see it in some of the award shows too, right? But the thing about it is now I don't want to say they do it so much that now it becomes normal to people. Like they're desensitized to it. Mustafa, yes. Oh, boy. Mustafa been on point, boy. Yes. 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 Yes.
Around his career. Between Old Town Road and his debut album, Lil Nas had branded himself as an outsider who managed to break into the music industry without following the rules. But with J. Christ, fans began to look at him in a completely different light. Lil Nas X wasn't seen as a rebel anymore. Instead, people saw him as a one-trick pony. After J. Christ brutally flopped, Lil Nas X desperately tried to rebrand and distance himself from the controversy. In November of 2024, Nas announced he was pivoting to a whole new album era called Dream Boy. But even that switch-up was marked by controversy and failure. Sega Bodega, a producer from London, pointed out that the Dream Boy cover art was uncomfortably similar to the artwork for his single, Angel on My Shoulder, which was released released 3 years earlier. Lil Nas X responded to the call out by admitting he used Sega Bodega's artwork as a quote reference, but when you put these two pictures together, it's pretty unmistakable that Lil Nas ripped this dude off.
Yeah.
Like, heavy ripped him off. Despite the plagiarism accusations, Lil Nas X continued to roll out his new album, but his latest singles performed even worse than J. Christ. Despite dropping brand new songs like Light Again and Need That Boy, Lil Nas failed to make an impact on any major charts. Months after he announced his so-called Dream Boy era, Lil Nas X made another play at getting fans' attention by promising to drop a new single every single day. Lil Nas made good on his promise, leading all the way to his big reveal of a brand new music video called Hotbox in March of 2025. Quote, I won't say I got a feel for you. Lil Nas, but I got a feel for you. Lil Nas, I pay the whole bill for you. Lil Nas, I'll do my little jig for you. Lil Nas. Despite the carefully planned rollout, Hotbox made 0 inroads on the Billboard charts.
I'm about to say, I didn't even hear about
another Lil Nas X flop. This is clearly a huge fall from grace for the guy who was once called the defining star of his generation. But with Lil Nas X stacking more L's than wins at this point, is there any chance of him coming back?
Explaining complex topics can be...
I get what they're saying, and yeah, he certainly did, from a creative standpoint. There's got to be somebody in play that's got to let him know, hey, we can't release that. We can't do that. That can't work. Somebody else has already done that. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, they helped the people around him that's supposed to take care of these things. Whoever's in the creative department, they didn't help his cause by just ripping off other people. Mustafa says, no matter how they view him, we love him and pray that he finds his way. Yeah, that's the God-fearing truth. Because, and it goes back to like you were saying before, brother, as long as he has breath in his lungs, he can. You know what I think it's going to take, Mustafa? I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to take him to look at being accepted by God. And by our Lord and Savior and by Christ, not the record industry. That's not it. I'm going to also tell you this too, because I said this before on one of my shows. And even though, please know when I say it, I'm not trying to make a mockery of Jesus Christ. I'm not trying to do anything like that. I'm just trying to put it into a context of where people will understand it better in today's terms, right? So I think once he gets to the point where he understands where, listen, heaven is like a club. Now, again, I'm saying this, I'm correlating it to what we can understand now. Heaven's a club. It's the happening club. Everybody wants to get in there, right? Everybody wants to go to. Jesus, imagine Jesus being your friend, calling you up and saying, hey, you want to go to heaven? And man, I would love to, but I don't have enough money to get in. What I mean that money, when I say that, I'm metaphorically speaking, Mustafa. What I'm saying is, by that money, what I'm saying is, man, I've done so much wrong. I've sinned so much. I'm not worthy of getting in. I don't have enough worth to get in. I don't have the money, proverbial money, to get into club heaven, into the club called heaven. Once he gets to a point where he realizes that when the Messiah died on the cross, that was the payment. That was our fee. Our fee was paid to get into heaven. That's what I'm saying. So once he gets to a point where he realizes, no matter what mistakes he made, no matter what sin he's done, as long as he can repent and he mean it within his heart, and going forward, he tries to live in that light, his debt is paid. He doesn't have to look for acceptance from this. If that makes sense in what I'm saying.
Bro, God gonna handle that. Real shit. What did he do? Nah, bro, I'm not even gonna explain it, bro.
It's safe to say that Lil Nas' rise to fame had a lot to do with the novelty of his music. Old Town Road smashed records in part because it was catchy, but also because it sounded completely new and different. Lil Nas X's super strategic rollout from Montero,
sure did,
from the Satan
Mustafa.
Shoes to the
Yes,
viral
he
music
did.
videos,
You
also
better know
helped
about
fuel
it.
his
He
rise
did.
to the top. But once that newness wore off, it became a lot harder for
He said,
fans to
did not
connect with
Christ
Lil Nas
say
X's
he
story.
stands at the door
It also
and
seems
knock?
like the only reason
He
Lil
sure
Nas
did.
X made music in the first place was to go viral, which is probably why he's struggling so much to put out new music. When you really think about it, it's hard for fans to describe a through line that defines Lil Nas X's sound or style, which is probably why so many people have just stopped rocking with him. In the last year alone, Lil Nas X has dropped a bunch of songs that have barely made any impact on the culture. If anything, Lil Nas X's downfall should be taken as a huge warning sign to the next generation of artists. While going viral can make you famous overnight, it still takes a ton of work and consistency to build up a viable long-term career in the rap game. And by the looks of it, Lil Nas X has squandered a lot of goodwill and has failed to make meaningful connections with other artists who might help him. But Lil Nas X's downfall goes even deeper than music. In April of 2025, Lil Nas was hospitalized after his face was partially paralyzed. In a video he posted from his hospital bed, Lil Nas admitted that he had lost control of the right side of his face. While he later updated fans on his recovery process, Lil Nas X is dealing with a ton of problems right now, to the point that he might need to put his big comeback on the back burner. Lil Nas X's rapid rise and downfall seems to be a pattern with viral stars who aren't able to match the excitement of when they first became popular. If you want to deep dive into another viral phenomenon gone bad, check out my breakdown on the Notorious Island Boys and their failed music career.
Yeah, we won't do that. That's a way. I don't have much to say about that. But now that wraps up segment number 2. And here's, hold on, let me get this. Rita says, "Oh wow, ain't that something that happened to Justin B?" I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It may have. I'm not sure. Rap God Thanos said that's stress. That'll get you. In wrapping up segment 2, again, I have to agree with Mustafa, and the best advice I could give to Lil Nas X is come on back to Lithia Springs, man, and just get in your Bible. Get into your faith and just leave it there. Like, and also be thankful that, how can I put this? Be thankful that you can get out of the industry and still have your life. All right, this is the third and final segment for today. We've talked about this on a previous show. Well, we didn't talk about it. We mentioned it. I won't say we talked about it. We mentioned it. I don't know. We really didn't get heavy into it. But I'm going to reiterate. If the twin, Camel Faces and Beehive, if the little boy seriously has autism to where he just don't like being around a lot of people and loud noises, perfect. I understand. Keep him off the stage. Keep him. I do. No. I'm listening to the audio as it plays, and I can hear me. And then when you all come up in the panel, it lets me hear you all. But when you see me doing this, I sound low to myself, so I feel like I'm sounding low to you all. But if they are choosing not to let this little boy be a part of whatever Blue Ivy and the other one, Rumi, whatever. If, because those two, they're allowed to come on stage with her and stuff like that. But if they're keeping the little boy off the stage because his autism or handicap or disability or whatever you may call it is more severe, and they don't want the world to see that. And again, I'm not right. I'm not saying I'm right, I'm just saying that I feel like that's wrong. I feel like you are saying you are ashamed of your child because he has these conditions. If that's the truth, if that's really what it is, if that's the reason why they don't allow him to come on stage and hang out like they do the two girls, that's messed up. That's messed up. Hey, Daybreak says, "Oh cool, oh cool. I'm learning. Listen, Daybreak. Let me tell you. Always take this with you. I tell everybody. Take this with you. He or she who asks is only a fool for a moment. He or she who never asks is a fool forever. So whenever you don't know something, you ask. You ask. Don't ever feel bad about asking, because once you learn, there's a possibility, a strong possibility that with you, on down the road, you're going to encounter somebody that had that same exact question you had. And because you asked previously, now you can bless them with the knowledge. But if you never asked, then y'all both don't know. You know what I'm saying? Right? So, Jessan says, Blue Ivy kills it on stage. She gets down. She gets down. Now, one of the recent concerts that Beehive had, I did notice that Rumi, I don't know what her name. Anyways, R-U-M-I, however they pronounce it. I did notice she did that. And I do notice that that's the symbol for that record company dealing with rocks. However, I also noticed when she did that, Blue Ivy was hitting her on the arm like, put that down, girl, put that down. Don't do that. You know? I don't know. But this is from Kiki, and the title says, Ex-Nanny exposes, and that's in capital letters, Beehive's twins. Sir, worse than Rumi. Jenny says, it's sad that B is constantly on tour like they're broke and needing money. Yeah, she did, like I want to say she did like 3 or 4 shows. Was it 3? 3 or 4? I think it was 4. Wait a minute. 4. I think she did 4 shows here in ATL. And I was like, man, I honestly thought they were living here now. You know, I've heard back-to-back concerts, like 2-night concerts, but man, Jenny said Mr. West said something about the twins, didn't he? Yes, he did. He did. And again, I don't know for sure. I don't know for certain. I do know, and I forgot who I was watching, but I know I was watching somebody's video, and they showed a video of the little boy walking. And yeah, it's visibly, man. Like you know, when I don't know if you ever seen it, Bessie, but yeah, it's noticeable. Like you can tell, but that's no reason to, that's still your baby. I guess that's how I look at it. Mustafa says, B knows that her rituals cause that to her son, and that's the results of Satan when you play. That boy right there. Boy. Yeah. And on that note, we'll just go into segment 3. I love that, Mustafa.
Y'all,
What?
you need to get on this real quick because the streets are saying that Beyonce's former nanny just came out and confirmed that the twins are allegedly autistic. And the internet is losing its mind over this. It's like every time Beyonce and Jay-Z try to convince us that everything is just peachy with them, something else comes out to expose them. And this time, the streets are saying that the nanny is ready to lay it bare. So what exactly has been going on behind the scenes? And did Beyonce really abandon Sir in a facility outside the home? Let's get into it. Okay, so if there's there is one thing fans are always going to do. It's speculate about Beyonce and Jay-Z's kids, especially the twins. And the main reason for this is that we don't see or hear a lot about the twins. Before Blue Ivy started dancing as a backup dancer for Beyonce on stage, she also used to be more private. And y'all know that the speculations were heavy back then, with fans saying a lot of things about Blue. But now that she has become more public, the speculation about her has reduced because fans know more about Blue. But on the other hand, fans have been wondering why she doesn't show the twins as much. I mean, even though Blue was mostly kept out of the public eye for a while, she still attended award shows, red carpets, and all sorts of events with her parents, so she was very much still visible. I know y'all remember the viral moment she asked her parents to stop clapping at the Grammys. But when it came to the twins, it was crickets for a long time. And what made it even more suspicious was that she had no problem showing them when they were babies, up until they were toddlers. They appeared in family videos and even campaigns for Ivy Park, but they slowly disappeared from the public. And that's when the rumors started that the twins were autistic and Beyonce chose to hide them away from the spotlight. However, Rumi started to show up more and more, but it was still crickets when it came to Sir. Fans noticed how Beyonce slowly reintroduced Rumi to society, but Sir still remained a mystery. It got even weirder when fans realized that Sir was absent from most events that were stereotypically male in nature. For example, Blue has attended the Super Bowl with Jay-Z every year for about 8 to 9 years, and Rumi joined in on the culture a couple of years ago, and she has been attending the Super Bowl since. But for some reason, their only boy hasn't attended the event since. Yeah, the math isn't mathing, and according to rumors, the kid's former nanny allegedly just confirmed that Sir's autism is very severe. Allegedly, Rumi is a high-functioning autistic, which is why she is able to be in public, but with strict supervision. This is why you always see someone with her backstage.
Hey, allegedly. Word on the curb was that Beehive had complications when she was pregnant with the twins. And I'm wondering if that had anything to do with this, you know, in addition to what you said, Mustafa.
Hey, Robert Herjavec from Shark Tank. I'm a huge fan. Hey, what is your number?
Man, come on, give me that skill.
Have caught many moments where they believe that Rumi's autism was peeping through. For example, fans believe that she was stimming when she did this on stage during the Cowboy Carter tour.
She's so happy to be out there with her mom.
There's also the time when she yelled into Beyonce's mic saying, "That made me so happy." So yeah, fans are convinced that Rumi is also autistic, but like the nanny alleged, Rumi is able to be in public because she's high functioning. But unfortunately, this isn't the case for Sir because his situation is allegedly more severe. And according to the nanny, the reason Sir's autism is more severe than Rumi's is that there were complications during their birth that affected Sir more than Rumi. Remember when Beyonce talked about her experience giving birth to the twins? It kind of flew under the radar back then, but in hindsight, it almost feels like she was dropping hints more than just sharing a story. She mentioned needing an emergency C-section, being stuck on bed rest for weeks, and how one of the twins' hearts stopped during delivery. In an interview with Vogue, she said, "I was 218 pounds the day I gave birth to Rumi and Sir. I was swollen from toxemia and had been on bed rest for over a month. My health and my baby's health were in danger, so I had an emergency C-section. We spent many weeks in the NICU. I was in survival mode and did not grasp it all until months later. After the C-section, my core felt different. It had been major surgery. Some of your organs are shifted temporarily and in rare cases removed temporarily during delivery. I am not sure everyone understands that. I needed time to heal, to recover." Ever since Beyonce opened up about what really happened during her pregnancy, some fans have started to wonder if there's more to the story, especially when it comes to Sir. See, medical researchers have talked about how preeclampsia can sometimes lead to long-term effects for the baby, and a few studies even suggest it might increase the chances of autism. And now, the nanny nanny is allegedly claiming that Sir was the twin whose heart stopped during delivery, which is why his autism is more severe than Rumi's. The nanny went on to claim that Beyonce had allegedly dropped hints about Sir's situation in a couple of interviews, but she was slick about it, so fans didn't know what she was talking about at the time. When Beyonce spoke about her daughters in this interview, she said, "It's important to me that they see themselves as CEOs, as bosses, and that they know they can write the script for their own lives, that they can speak their minds and they have no ceiling. They don't have to be a certain type or fit into a specific category." But when she spoke about her son, she talked about how she wanted him to be brave in a cruel world. She said, "I hope to teach my son not to fall victim to what the internet says he should be or how he should love. I want to create better representations for him so he is allowed to reach his full potential as a man, and to teach him that the real magic he possesses in the world is the power to affirm his own existence." That's when the quiet speculation really started picking up. Some fans felt like she was trying to say something without actually spelling it out. And if you believe...
Yeah, I did. Daybreak 76 says, "Did you hear about the earthquake and tsunami news yesterday? It was on the news. Not sure of updates." Yeah, I did hear about it. I heard some. I think it started. Well, I don't even know if I can say that on here, but RUSSIA, and then it's affecting Hawaii. That's what I heard. I'm not sure. But that's what I heard this morning.
What the nanny says, Beyonce was carefully hinting that Sir has a severe autism diagnosis without ever directly confirming it. Interestingly, multiple insiders have attempted to hint at this, like Kanye West when he tweeted, "Wait, has anyone ever seen Jay-Z and Beyonce's younger kids? They're no, like literally, and this is why artificial insemination is such a blessing. Having children is a choice. If Twitter take my ish down, then so be it, but I need y'all to know Jay-Z or nobody have no power over me." Azalea Banks was more direct when she accused Beyonce directly of being ashamed of Sir specifically. Not Rumi and Sir, just Sir. She tweeted, "Stop hiding your son from the world, sis. People will find out sooner or later and are really gonna look like a piece of crap for being ashamed of your own child." But that's not all, because Hazel E backed Kanye up and hinted that she believes Sir Carter had some issues.
Things that I've read, the comments that I've read is more so something along the line that there's some things the twins might have some kind of like issue, but the fans just want Beyonce to come out and tell the truth about what's going on with her children and be an advocate for whatever said issues might be, whatever it is. They just want her to come out and be a voice for it versus like trying to hide them, lock them in a room, act like they don't exist.
She also made a comment about how some people even think that Sir might have passed away.
But
no, I don't think that. But that's what I'm saying, and that's the part I'm getting at. Listen, it's her business if she doesn't want to, come out and I don't know. Here's the thing. My only issue is, don't be ashamed of him, because, like, he didn't ask to be that way. And I just feel like if there's something wrong, you still, like, why treat him, don't treat him differently than from how you treat the others. I guess is what I'm saying, right? I don't think that's fair. I don't know. Am I not minding my business? Am I not staying in my lane? I don't know. I just don't want no kid to feel unwanted, especially due to a disability or something that they had no control over. Like, life is already challenging enough, Mustafa said, "God told Eve, I will put intimacy between you and the serpent, in between your seed and this seed." Ooh. Hey, Rita says, "So many other kids are going through the same thing. It would be encouraging." Yes, Rita. That's what I was like. She could be a voice for those people, those kids. Like, come, like, I just don't. I don't get it. And the more I think about it, the more upset I get. I mean, I already don't care for neither one of them. I'm talking about Beehive and Camel Face. But if this is in fact the truth, while she is keeping him out of the, the spotlight or whatnot, then where I thought I couldn't care about her any less, that would prove that I can. You know. Yeah, and that's what right. I mean, Mustafa says she's not ashamed. Hollywood will destroy her by revealing it. Yeah, what you know? If that be the case too, I mean, why not pack up and go to another country? Why not go just somewhere else where they can't get? I don't know. I don't know, Mustafa. I don't know, man. And I really feel bad for him. I really feel bad for him. You know, like I said in the beginning, if in fact he is, sensitive to, that's the word I'm looking for. If he is sensitive to loud noises or large crowds of people, I get it. My stepson, he has he's a high functioning autistic person too, but when we go somewhere, like, he is on his phone away, like and in some cases he'll just stay in the car. I mean, granted, he's 22 now, but still, he'll sit in the car if he knows he just doesn't do well in a large group setting. Now, I will say sometimes it does bother me because I'm like, I feel like he's not allowing himself to have fun, you know. Because, and I say that because there's certain times where we've gone places where he didn't want to go, but then he had to, his mom made him come, and then get there and we leave like, oh, that was fun. That was, you know. And so, I mean, it's kind of, you know, both sides of the coin on that. But Mustafa says she's a part of a society of the covering covenant. She took an oath, a blood oath. Yeah, we definitely we discussed that and brought that to light too, brother, on several shows. And you're right, and also that's the same type of people that want to portray themselves and everything they're affiliated with to be perfect. And so to have something that's not perfect, to have a child that's not perfect, especially when it comes to the top tier power couple, you know, that could very well be why, you know.
Based on like certain things that have come out, people are drawing conclusions about the twins. At a certain point, people thought the little boy was unalived, you know, because they hadn't seen him in so long.
Her comments about Sir passing away were mean, to say the least, but it only further fueled the conversation. And now, the nanny is claiming that Sir allegedly no longer lives with the family, and this is where things really took people by surprise. She claims that Beyonce and Jay-Z allegedly couldn't handle Sir's condition on their own, so they made the decision to place him in full-time care. Not just anywhere, though. This is supposed to be a private, extremely high-end facility, but still, it's not in their home, and that's what has people shaken. Some are calling it abandonment. Others think maybe they didn't have much of a choice if his needs are really that serious. Either way, it doesn't match the image they've always presented. The Carters have spent years showing the world this tight-knit, picture-perfect family, so the idea that their son is being raised somewhere else, even in luxury, feels unsettling. It's pretty wild, but hey, as long as the boy is getting the help he needs, so I guess that counts for something. Anywho, let me know how you feel.
That concludes segment 3. Again, still disturbed. Jenny said, wait, ain't no way, like the Kennedys? Yeah, that's Bessie, that's where I'm at, like, when I thought I couldn't get it, because it was already bad enough if they were not bringing him out. Rita said, wow, right. If they were not bringing him out because of his condition, that was already bad enough. But if they have completely given him away and given him up, I don't know. And yeah, I know they said that it could be because he needs, because of the type of medical care that he needs, that they couldn't do it. But to that, I have to say, given all of the money they have, I think they could have afforded health care for him to be at home with them. Jenny said other celebrities have done it before, so I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be because, like we were saying, they have this lifestyle that they live where, you know, people of their status has to be perfect. They have to give off the perception that everything is perfect. And but again, though, like I've said, I just feel like they got enough money that even if that was indeed the case, they could hire help, professional help that could, you know, possibly live with them and do that. I don't know. I'm kind of trying to wrap my mind around all of it, you know. Jenny says, I don't know. I thought they were selling property and he got denied for a few loans. That did happen. And then they ended up getting approved for one that was, don't quote me, Bessie, but I think it was $57 million, I think. I think it was 57 million, but don't quote me on that. I know it was 50 something. I just think it's 57 for some reason. Wow. What can I say, man? I don't know. Yeah, that came. Maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe. You may be right on that, Bestie. I'm not sure, though. Wow. Anyways, hey, thanks. Thank you all again for spending some hours with me here on hashtag I'm Gonna Say It. Like I said before, I continue to let you all know on behalf of me and my moderating team, you all's presence is a gift to us. We enjoy the company. We enjoy the fellowship. I want you all to know you all are in our prayers at all times. So high and so strong. All right, remember, if you've missed any past episodes of hashtag I'm Gonna Say It and you would like to go and check it out, by all means, please go over to YouTube, subscribe to my channel, GSmooth404. Yes, thank you all. Thank you all. Give thanks to my gifters. Absolutely. Thank you to the new followers. Thank you to my moderating team. And last but not least, thanks to all of you for joining us. From the halls of power. If you haven't, go to YouTube and subscribe to Tay Redivision Films. And please go and watch the hottest new web series, Dope Girls. We just had episode 4 air last night. So you got time to go over, subscribe to that channel, and watch episode 1, 2, 3, and 4, and be ready for episode 5 when it drops. All right? Also, hashtag True Podcast. It's good friends of ours. You can follow them here on this platform, or you can go over and subscribe to his channel on YouTube. It's hashtag, the actual word hashtag, Truth Podcast. There was something else I feel like I'm missing, and I know you said it. That's right, Global Impact Wrestling TV. Subscribe to that channel on YouTube. Your self-proclaimed favorite news reporter and host morphs into a video game pro wrestling character, and we have matches on there. We didn't air again Monday because the owner was not feeling well, but he has plans on bringing it back once, trying to get his health. His health is more important than anything, right? So Let's pray that that happens. Let's pray for him. Let's keep him in our prayers for his health and his family as well. Let's pray for them. Amy, you have a great day. Thank you, Bestie, for tuning in with us and hanging out. Just a reminder, we do have hashtag I'm going to say it merch available. Message me or inbox me if you'd like to find out on how to get you some of that. And with that being said, I pray that you all enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week. It is my prayer that you all are surrounded with protection, security, comfort, love, peace, serenity. This has been your favorite, self-proclaimed favorite news reporter, Mr. Breaking News, reporting live from the newsroom, signing off. Peace and blessings to you all. And remember this, you can be anything in this world. Be somebody.